look, and he went round the turn, number 18, all the way towards the back, but it was Roman Mostek with his first foxhole shot of the season. Thibault Benistant led, though, heading uphill for the first time. Roman Mostek there in second, Kai de Wolf third. Sasha Kunin was there in fourth place, the lead KTM rider, and then Lucas Kunin, but he went missing on the opening lap. What looked like a possible bike problem because he walked away unscathed. But Van der Mostek had to yield as Kai de Wolf charged into second place. And then Liam Everts was parked quite handily, but it was Adamo who was having to charge his way through. Just like Kai de Wolf, who took over the lead from Benistant on lap 7 of 17. But they were never more than a second or so apart for the entire race after that. Sasha Kunin, 79 on the left, came under attack from Adamo. That put him into fifth place, which is where he would eventually finish. But not before Kevin Horgmo got the better of Isaac Gifting. Horgmo came home in 6th, Gifting in 7th. Thibault Benistant, though, tried the entire race to find his way back past Kai de Wolf, but when they hit the line, they were split by 1 second exactly. Kai de Wolf, your winner from Benistant and Van der Mostek. So that was the MX2 first race. And it was won by Kai de Wolf. Thibault Benistant was second, Roman Van der Mostek, Liam Everts, Andrea Adamo rounding out the top 5. We'll do the points in a moment. Before that, though, Lisa was down on the grid a few months ago. She caught up with Sasha Kunin. Before that, the 24 of Kevin Horgmo.
Now, my camera guys are laughing at me because I always want to be early to the start because this rider is always here about 15 minutes before everyone else. But so it's really good to speak to you because I want to talk to you about that first race. Qualifying was a difficult one for you, but you turned it all around. P6 in that first race. Perhaps not where you really want to be, but not a bad effort.
Yeah, not easy to start from the complete outside. I made it happen somehow and came out like 8-9 in the start and then got up to 60 in the end. And yeah, with all the struggles I had for the past few races, P6 is a decent one, and we just need to every weekend be here and then improve every weekend.
Well, actually being here, your first and only podium was here last year. Do you have nice memories coming back?
Yeah, for sure, that was a nice one. I'm hoping to be able to repeat it as soon as possible, but yeah, as it looks right now, we should just be happy with the P6 and then improve on that.
Good luck for the final race. Thanks, Kevin. Let's chat to Red Bull KTM Factory MX2 rider Sasha Kunin. Sasha, let's chat to you about that first race. Good start, running in 4th, then you finished in 10th. What was the situation there? Did you just make a mistake or maybe just got a bit tired in the end?
No, just yeah, get a good start. I could maybe make the whole shot, but I get a bit too wide. And then, yeah, was riding good, was in 4th a long time, and then I got yeah, a bit not tired. Was yeah, just kind of feeling with the bike was not so good at the end, so I preferred to go a bit slower and finish in 10th. And yeah, let's do better in second moto and try to do as best as we could.
The track looks pretty fast at the moment. How difficult is it to pass and make up time out there?
Yeah, to make a pass is really difficult, but because you have not so many lines. But yeah, I really like the track. It's really sketchy, but yeah, it's for everyone the same.
Have a good race. Thank you. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for the final MX2 race of the day.
Nice questions, Lisa. Good to see Sasha Kunin up there as well. And if he can get another good stop, because he did, he came from outside of the right-hand side of the gates, didn't he? And charged in, tried to get across, but then couldn't get across. So he had no choice but to run wide. But he salvaged it very well because he did emerge in 4th place. Take a look at the calendar. We're in Latvia this weekend. We go to Germany in a week's time. Week off, and then we head to the 2 Asian rounds, MXGP of Sumbawa and Lombok. Week off, and then we've got 3 in a row. Look, Czech Republic, Belgium, and Finland. And we are really on the back end of the season right then. But we finish it all with the Monster Energy FIM Motocross Nations, 8th of October in Ernée, France. The rain continues to fall here at the Zelterzerg circuit, Kegums in Latvia. Kai de Wolf lines up on pole position for the 2nd time this season, having won the Ram qualifying race on Saturday, ahead of his teammate at Nissan Husqvarna, Roman Mostijk. Thibault Benistant on the Monster Energy Yamaha lines up 3rd, ahead of the Red Bull KTM of Liam Everts, Mikkel Harup, Lucas Koenen, Oriol Oliver, Andrea Adamo. You see he has the championship leader's red plate because the points that he picked up in the qualifying race meant that he took over that red plate by the narrowest of margins. But as it stands right now, after the results in race 1, Kai de Wolf leads by 5 points. So will the lead and the championship leader's red plate change for the 2nd time this weekend? Kai de Wolf on 3.42. There he is, your new championship leader heading into this race, of course. Adamo is 5 points further back. Thibault Benistant 4 behind the Italian. Jago Kietz 14 adrift there in 4th place. Thibault Benistant, fantastic ride for him in race 1, but despite his efforts was not able to find his way past de Wolf to regain the lead and take a potential win. Roman Mostijk tried to stay with de Wolf and Benistant, but in the end just settled for a safe 3rd. He can still make it onto the podium this weekend. So too can Liam Everts. 4th in race 1. He'll be hoping for a good start, stay out of trouble on the opening lap, as with all the riders actually. And his teammate Andrea Adamo will also be looking to pull back some lost points in that first race. The rain tipping down here in Latvia. The circuit conditions not too bad at the moment, but if this rain persists and it builds up, we will possibly have a bit of a quagmire circuit later on in the day. Nice umbrellas, by the way, gents. So Roman Mostijk next to his teammate there, de Wolf and Benistant, the same positions as they had in race 1 as they line up behind the gates. Grippy mesh as the Fly Racing 15-second board goes up, but the back plate on the start gate may be slippery. Didn't have too many problems in it in the first race, but look at the rain falling down here now. MX2, race 2, about to get underway. The gate drops here. Who's going to grab that all-important foxhole shot again? Sasha Koenen doing what he did in race 1, but not able to do anything about it, and I think he goes down. He does. Benistant down as well. Lucas Koenen leads like he did in the qualifying race, but was it he that grabbed the foxhole shot, or was it de Wolf, or Van der Mostijk? All 3 of them. The Stan Husqvarna's up at the sharp end again. Adamo there in 4th place. Mike Guerda in the fluoro colours, he's in 5th position, and just behind him, the fast starting 122, Camden McClellan, Kevin Horgmo, and then we've got Lorenzo Corti, Devin Simonson in 9, and Lorenzo Ciabatti as the rain continues to fall here in Latvia. But Thibault Benistant with a mountain of work. I think Gifting went down as well, and Everts possibly, because Benistant and Everts 19th and 20th on this opening lap. Heading down the back straight for the first time. Lucas Koenen, it's about where he parked his bike in race 1 and had to walk disconsolately back. But it's Koenen who leads. De Wolf 2nd, Van der Mostijk 3rd. Heavy rain falling here. A little bit of prep work on the track as well. Nicely picking his front end up over that little hole, dropping on the downside. Kai de Wolf. But coming into land, see how deep it is, where they've just done a little bit of work there. A tank slapper from Koenen as he came into land. Through the lead away in the qualifying race at the end of the first lap. Won't want to repeat the same mistake this time around. And of course, we know normally from experience when he does get in the lead, as we saw in EMX 250 last year, when he won 7 of the last 8 races. And as we saw in France 2 weeks ago when he took his first MX2 race win. Foxhole shot to the victory and picked up the 25 points. He'll be hoping to do the same again today, but he will have his hands full because of his two Dutch teammates right there behind him, the Wolf and Van der Moosdijk. Adamo there in 4th place. The fluorescent colours of Mike Guerda on the WZ Racing KTM. He is in 5th. Kevin Horgmo, F&H Kawasaki in green here in 6th. Camden McClellan, JM Honda Racing in 7th. Devin Simonson in 8th place. Mikkel Harup 9th. Lorenzo Ciabatti in 10th. And Jan Panzer, Oriol Oliver, Arvin Luning, Jack Chambers. So the second of the 2 Americans up there at the moment. Guerda tiptoes his way around the inside. Horgmo tried to go around the outside, and again in the next turn, cuts back beautifully, finds his way into 5th. Kevin Horgmo. Working their way towards the top of the hill. McClellan in 7th place. Simonson into 8th. Harup 9th. Ciabatti 10th. Where's Benistant? He's in 15th, bringing Everts with him in 16th position. Gifting in 18th. But not the start that Thibault Benistant wanted after finishing 2nd in race 2. Had a chance of walking away here as the championship leader, possibly, after this 2nd race. But nobody in a real hurry at the moment to latch onto the rear wheel of the rider ahead of them. They want to try and preserve those goggles as long as possible, because you've got the raindrops, the heavy rain, and then, of course, the wet sand that's only going to get wetter as long as this rain continues, and it is absolutely teeming as I look out the window here. But tidying up some of those corners after MXGP. Race 1 is making the track a little bit quicker again, but 2:03.3s are the lap times at the moment. See how slippery it is down there as well. So where that corner has been bladed, a little bit sludgy on top. Kay de Wolf almost washing the front end downhill into that right-hand turn a moment ago. So the track a little bit treacherous out there at the moment. Then you get nice built-up berms like that. So you go from sort of nice grippy corners to unpredictability in some places, and then heavy slop in others. The run towards the finish line then. Lucas Koenen, fastest lap of the race, 2:01.5. 2:02.9 for de Wolf. Knows he doesn't have to push early on. If it was Benistant ahead of him, might have been a different story, because you'll be fighting for the Grand Prix victory in that instance. Benistant up to 13th place, all over the back of Jan Panzer and Lorenzo Ciabatti. In fact, he's just found his way past Jan Panzer, moves into 12th, Thibault Benistant. So Kay de Wolf then, about 3.5 seconds behind his teammate, all on his own. About 2.5 ahead of his other teammate, so not much happening at the front, but coming through the field, Thibault Benistant having fallen at turn 1. Everts about 3-4 seconds behind him, maybe. Here is Thibault Benistant. So the 198 Monster Energy Yamaha alongside the 64 of Lorenzo Ciabatti. Working their way towards the end of the straight, just here, look. And he goes around the outside of the number 64 and moves up into 11th place. Absolutely covered in mud, but of course went down on the first turn, so handlebars, gloves, possibly muddied and slippery as well. But he's just got to get on and ride and push and see how many points he can get back, because they will be, not might be, they will be important championship points come the end of the season. Just behind the number 770 of Devin Simonson, the SM Action Racing Team USA KTM rider in from America, his first MX2 Grand Prix, the rider in yellow. But Benistant lining him up at the moment. Here's what happened at the start. Thibault Benistant, gate number 3, and the 79 swinging in from the outside, look. But, I think, whichever the Husqvarna, was it de Wolf that just gave an elbow to Benistant and then pushed him into the others as they went through. I think Everts should have made a bad start, full stop. And Lucas Koenen with the foxhole shot in race 2. 3 now for the young Belgian. And looking good at the moment, 4 seconds clear. Benistant on the charge though. Harup up to 7. He's found his way past Camden McClellan. And Thibault Benistant finding his way past Simonson. All of a sudden finds himself in 10th place then. He'll be hoping this was an old school race, 40 plus 2. Thibault Benistant on the 198 here. As the rain continues to fall, changing the track lap by lap now. Where's the next rider in his sights? Well, it's in the next turn, and it will be Camden McClellan. Mike Guerda and his WZ Racing teammate Mikkel Harup pushing hard for 6th position. Guerda, the Swiss rider, hit the cleaner of the 2 riders. He's been out on his own there. Harup, though, trying to get creative through that right-hand turn. Spinning up the rear end, gives you an indication of how slippery it is. And also here, look how wet it is with this rain that continues to fall. I wonder if it will make the inside gates for MXGP Race 2 a little bit more favourable because of where the race line, where they re-emerge onto the track, is getting heavy. They'll blade that back over. It might be a little bit boggy through the middle gates. That's the advantage of inside gates. I'll go inside anyway, just because it's the safest route through the first turn. But Guerda hanging on to that 6th place at the moment. Although Harup, who was 8th in race 1, pushing for 6th in race 2. Oriol Oliver, the number 51. So the 3 WZ riders, 6th, 7th and 8th now, as Oliver finds his way past Camden McClellan. Right, Harup getting ready to find his way past Guerda. Harup closest to us on the number 11, gets good drive, hangs off the back of his machine, stays lower as well, comes into land, and he will take 6th at the end of the straight. Just, wow, Guerda hanging on there, not backing out of the challenge. So Harup then looks to go around the outside, and it pays off for him this time. Harup then up into 6th. Right, now he has clear track ahead of him. Kevin Horgmo, though, 12 seconds further up the track. But Lucas Kuhnen extending his lead over Kai de Wolf now, more than 5 seconds clear. .5 minutes plus 2 laps remain then. MX2 race 2 and a very wet Zelterzergs circuit here in Latvia. The heavy rain continues to fall. Thibault Benistant coming into view now. He is lining up Camden McClellan for 9th place, having fallen at turn 1 right at the start of the race. The rider who finished 2nd in race 1. Not completely affecting his podium chances, but he will be kicking himself because he knew and knows that a good start could have set him up perfectly for the overall victory. Back-to-back wins, having won in France 2 weekends ago, the previous round. McClellan, though, just gets the wrong side of the rut on the JM Honda. Got his hands full here with the 198, Thibault Benistant. That's how it looks at the moment. De Wolf found a most like Adamo on 34, but this will tie Adamo with Benistant. He'll still miss out on the podium at the moment. Another pass at least. Oh, he caught his left foot on the bank there as he went by. Ripped his leg off the foot peg, Thibault Benistant. Could have easily been an ankle or a knee injury there. Watch this here. Back end steps out, foot came off the peg, caught the hole actually. Very lucky with that. Thibault Benistant 9th though. looking good on his ride through the field. Oliver about 4 seconds further up. Well, he was about 3.6. So Oriol Oliver just there in the yellow and black. Teammate to these two. Well, actually, Horgmo, sorry. Harup has disappeared. Oriol Oliver closing in on Guerda. Nice inside line starting to develop there. Guerda continues to remain one of the cleanest riders on track, look. 6.96 on the number board. Oriol Oliver, the Spaniard, riding number 51, right in his wheel tracks. Good showing this for the WZ team. But Oliver means business here, 9th in race 1. Gets alongside his teammate, heavy landing, but squeezes Guerda to the outside. Knew that he went to the inside. We would have a little bit of hang time. Guerda might find his way back. So Oliver up in the 7th place. And Benistant lining up as well. He cuts to the inside. Do points and podiums in a moment. Bit out of shape there for Guerda. Just bounced his way over the jump. Looks across to Benistant. Sees him there. And lets him have it at the top of the hill. So Benistant now up into 8th place. He's got Oliver right there as well in his wheel tracks. So Oliver not escaping the clutches of Benistant. 2:07 lap times for him compared to the 2:04, 2:03s of Koenen, De Wolf and Van der Moosdijk. Adamo in 4th is also in the 2:04s, Horgmo in the 2:05s. But coming through traffic like this, Thibault Benistant around the outside of Oriol Oliver moves up into 7th place. Good ride this from the Frenchman. Got a bit of a gap now. 6 seconds to Mikkel Harup. Lapping quicker than the Dane, though, is Benistant here. So we'll be hoping for that second or so to come in handy per lap. Just to bring him onto the rear wheel of Harup. Then, of course, he needs to make a pass. As it stands right now, he's going to be on the podium. But he's going to lose 11 points to Kai De Wolf overall in the championship classification. De Wolf will leave here with the championship leaders' red plate. Adamo would have worn it for one day only, race 1 and 2 this weekend. But if he can, yeah, you will see Harup there. So the gap between Harup and Benistant, 5.3. Harup was a 2:07.4, 2:06.6 for Benistant. Meanwhile, here is Kai De Wolf. He's in 2nd position, 4.3 seconds behind his teammate, Lucas Koenen. That's the gap between his other teammate, Van der Moosdijk, who's about 2.5 seconds drift in 3rd. And it'll be an Astan 1-2 on the top steps of the podium. De Wolf 47, Van der Moosdijk on 40. As it stands right now, Benistant on 36. That uphill just getting a lot heavier. Here's your race leader, Lucas Koenen. First, second, third. Van der Moosdijk was quicker than De Wolf last time around, 2:03.8 compared to a 2:04.2. Not a lot in it. Can still find a way by. 47 would become 45, 42 for Van der Moosdijk. So gap coming down though, 3.7 seconds between Koenen and De Wolf. 2:04.5, 2:03.8, and a 2:04.04 So the quickest of the trio that time, the man in the middle, Kaido Wolf, number 74. Winner of race 1 for the second time this season. He would love to win his first Grand Prix in MX2 with a 1-1. Of course he would. But he would just love to win a Grand Prix in MX2. Came so close in Sardinia, didn't he? Kind of track that you've just got to respect now because of the unpredictable nature. Yeah, it's a race, but you also need to know where the limits of the track are, the limits of adhesion as well, where it's going to be wet and slippery. Berms like this, absolutely perfect. But Lucas Koenen continues to lead, and he has 6 seconds over his teammate, Van der Moosdijk now. Just looking at the leaderboard, yeah, Van der Moosdijk is there in second. De Wolf is in third, according to our live timing, 7.7's adrift. So De Wolf has made a mistake. Maybe when I was looking up at the screen. So that's going to be a big moment then for championship and the points, because Adamo all over the back of De Wolf. And Adamo charging down the inside of the Dutchman. Needs to pick up the pace to keep Adamo behind him, because these two, first and second in the points chase at the moment. 3.64, 3.55. 3.62, 3.55 as De Wolf hits the line now. Right, this is where it was. A lap ago. Ah, just over the berm, look. And that's it, just folded it. And then Van der Moosdijk right there, ready to pick up the pieces. Good response, though, this from Kaido Wolf. Already breaking free from Andrea Adamo. So the Red Bull KTM rider got close, but not able to challenge De Wolf. Working our way towards the end of lap 10 then here, MX2 race 2. Andrea Adamo, number 80, Red Bull KTM, was all over the back of Kaido Wolf a moment ago, who fallen from second. He's now down into third place. Meanwhile, Thibault Benistant has caught Mikkel Harup. These two now fighting over 6th place in the race. Harup number 11, Benistant on the Yamaha 198 behind him. Thibault Benistant fell at turn 1. Finished second in race 1. He is going to be on the podium, third overall. But obviously, he's very much in the fight for the championship as it stands at the moment, with Jago Kietz out, recovering from wrist surgery, from a broken wrist in France 2 weekends ago. But Benistant thought he was going to park Harup there. Doesn't need to take any unnecessary risks, but he does need to be firm but fair as well. Goes the long way round. Harup closes the door on him. So the WZ Racing KTM ahead of the Monster Energy Yamaha. Circuit conditions changing all the time, and Everts down the inside of Oliver. Forceful move into 8th place. Everts also made a difficult or a poor start. So the Red Bull KTM rider on the podium last time out, third overall. Having to do it the hard way this weekend, 6th overall in the classification for him. Could be 5th if he can pull off another couple of passes here or there. But Mikkel Harup responding to the charge of Thibault Benistant behind him. These two around about 51 seconds. Wow, 51 seconds off the lead at the moment, but they've both had to come through traffic. Benistant, top of the hill. Obviously looked a lot closer than it was. The Frenchman gets alongside the Dane. Can't see the ruts on the takeoff there, and you can't see how deep it is when they land with the back roost. But they get on the gas and it spits the dirt out from under the rear wheel. Piles up, you'll see it on the downside here as well, look there. Of course, the deeper that gets, and those ruts also then start to develop. Benistant wheelies in and pops past the number 11 of Harp, moves into 6th position. And Van der Moosdijk has tipped over, so is that De Wolf in 2nd place as well. I'm guessing from the body language, Van der Moosdijk now. Watch this here. Bottom of the hill, front end. Yeah, just came in hot. Knew he'd made the mistake. That's going to be a hard landing there for him as well, but his teammate going to go right by. There he goes, into 2nd. So Van der Moosdijk now in 3rd place, the number 39. De Wolf up to 2nd, 12.5 seconds behind Lucas Koenen, who continues to lead. Having a trouble-free ride, so didn't finish race 1, didn't get past the first lap. This will more than make up for it, but again, could have been challenging for a podium. Yet to see him there. But he'll take a 2nd race win of his career. 2nd in 2 rounds as well. But the 39 here, Van der Moosdijk, will be kicking himself. Very easy mistake to make. You're charging downhill, you miss a rut, and all of a sudden you get stood up, hit the top of the berm, folds over out the front door, or the side door as it was there. Didn't land in the sand berm either, he landed on the hard pack. And he's only got 3.5 seconds clearance over Adamo. Hogmo is 5th, Benistant up to 6th, Harp 7. Everts here in 8th place. Thibault Benistant, though, 22 seconds behind Hogmo. Don't think he's going to find his way onto the rear wheel of the Norwegian F&H Kawasaki rider. Not with 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Sasha Koenen is coming for the goggle lane, and goggles aren't ready. Maybe didn't tell the team, or maybe they just weren't ready. So Sasha Koenen then going to be losing positions. He's in 13th at the moment. Liam Everts into the waves. Tight inside line, doubling in. And then on the back wheel. Difficult part of the racetrack now with all this rain, because those waves are quite hard. A little bit mushy and slippery sand on top. Get out of shape, very easy to break traction at the rear wheel. Get that swap on all of a sudden. Go one of 2 ways. You can try and bring it back in line with a bit of rear brake, or the thing just goes like a pendulum and just doesn't stop until it gets rid of you. Deep rut there, no problem for Everts this time around for the number 72, unlike Van der Moosdijk a lap ago. Front end trying to wash there as well, so it gives you an idea, even mid-straight, riders having to fight that front end. Just over 3.5 minutes to go, plus 2 laps in this second MX2 race. So Koenen leads, Lucas Koenen leads, 11 seconds clear over Kai de Wolf. Van der Moosdijk another 9 seconds further back in 3rd. Adamo 4th, about 4 seconds behind Van der Moosdijk. Then Hogmo, almost 10 seconds adrift. Then Benistant. Looks like 6 is as good as it's going to get for the Frenchman. Harp pushing him all the way, though. Still 2.5 seconds behind the 198. Then we've got Everts, who we just saw there. Then Oliver, then Gifting, McClellan in 11th. Guerda, Simonson, Chambers, Panzer, Koenen, Chabati, Learning, Maconis and Corti. Podium looks like this then. Kaida Wolf on 47. Here he is, the number 74. Be a first and a second for him. Remember, 25, 22, 20, 18, 16, 15, and then 14 single digits down to 20th. Waved yellows, and it's, oh, Lucas Kuhnen out of the lead. He's thrown away 10.8 seconds. He's buried his head there as well, judging by the position of the visor. And all of a sudden, from third to second, because of his Dutch teammate, Rowan van der Moostijk, inherits the lead after his Belgian teammate, Lucas Kuhnen, also falls from the lead. All of a sudden, Kaida Wolf looking at going 1-1 for the perfect day in Latvia with 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go. So Kaida Wolf all of a sudden 4 seconds clear of Lucas Kuhnen. We'll bring you that when we have it, but Van der Moostijk third. Also 4.7 seconds behind Kuhnen in that third place. So a bit of a gift there in the end for De Wolf. He'll be thanking his teammates later, I believe. That's so nice, isn't it? When they just pick the front wheel up, keep the rear wheel down just to get the drive. But Adamo fourth, Horgmo, Benistant, Harp, Everts, Olivet and Gifting. McClellan still solid in 11th place, just like he was in race 1. It'll be 11th overall for him. Just looking away from the wayward roost off the back of what looked like Jan Panzer's rear wheel in 16th position. The Tem Jet 253 KTM rider. Look how hard the rain is now, absolutely bucketing down here in Latvia. Panzer's thrown his goggles, look, they're hanging off his handlebar. So barring no more mistakes from the 74 here, Kaida Wolf should be looking at back-to-back wins in the same day. So, Kaida Wolf, Lucas Kuhnen, Van der Moostijk. That's how it looks here, because it's been an eventful race for all three of them. Let's take a look at how things have panned out so far in this MX2 race 2. There's Kuhnen and Van der Moostijk behind him. Nastan Husqvarna's 1, 2 and 3. Watch this here. This was Kaida Wolf crashing out of second position earlier on in the race. Over the berm, folded the front, tipped over. Van der Moostijk went through into second. A few laps later, Van der Moostijk, look, tipped over the side of the berm, folded the front, out the side door. He picked himself up, and then Kuhnen went down from the lead, threw away 11.8 seconds. And watch this. Kaida Wolf goes through, takes over the lead. That was just over a lap ago. And all of a sudden, Kaida Wolf looking at going 1-1 here to win his first ever Grand Prix, and doing it in the sand in Latvia. Looks like Lucas Kuhnen pushed the visor up too high. Now he's got it too low, look. Wonder if his teammate will pounce. Either way, this is a this is a perfect race, actually, for everybody down there at Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing, because 1, 2, 3 in the race. They're not all going to be sharing the podium, but it will be a 1-2 between De Wolf and Van der Moostijk. 50 points against 40. Thibault Benistant still in 6th position, gaining slightly on Horgmo, but he's going to finish 3rd overall if he stays where he is. But Lucas Kuhnen now coming under attack from Rowan van der Moostijk. Possibly just because the visor just at the wrong angle for him. If there was a jump big enough and safe, yeah, he's trying to push it up, look. He pushed it too high, and then he's obviously just given it a good old wallop, and it's come down almost over his eyes completely. But Kaida Wolf getting ready to take the 2-lap board. 770 there. Devin Simonson, SM Action Racing Team, USA KTM, in from the USA this weekend. He's been in Europe about 2 weeks, arrived just before France, but he's ridden the bike about 6 or 7 times when I spoke to him yesterday. He is now into 15th place because Jack Chambers, the other American in the race, just found his way past a lap or so ago. And he is going to be the next rider to be lapped by the 74, Kyle Wolf. I think that was him just around the corner. Yeah, there he is, look. Or is it? Yeah, number 12. The proper raining stair rods here in the late stages of the race. Lorenzo Ciabatti there, number 64, he's in 16th. 5:05 behind him, Arvid Luning. But they're about to get passed by Lucas Kuhnen, number 96 in second place. See how slippery it is now. The hard ground and all the rain that's falling. Very unpredictable. Opening laps of MXGP Race 2 are going to be very, very important and very tense as well. Van der Moosdijk, can he just dig in deep enough to find a way past his young Belgian teammate, 16 years old? Ciabatti yields just about, allows Kuhnen through. Just going to hamper Van der Moosdijk ever so slightly. Learning going past. In fact, Learning just the next rider in the sights of Lucas Kuhnen. Not able to stay with Simonsen at the moment. Yeah, Lucas Kuhnen just avoiding the roost as Kyle Wolf, I won't say ridden the perfect race because there was a mistake in there, but 25 points when you look back at it shows it was a perfect weekend as Lucas Kuhnen forceful with the back markers as he heads into the final lap. He's got about 2.5 seconds over Rowan van der Moosdijk, so does not need to make any more mistakes. He knows that. Rasmus Jorgensen and the team down there, probably fingers crossed, hoping that all three riders bring it home in the first three positions. And what has been a difficult racetrack in this second race. Windscreen wipers, anyone? Blue flags being waved to the rider in yellow, Lorenzo Ciabatti, because he's about to be lapped. Kyle Wolf and Lucas Kuhnen has gone through. Rowan van der Moosdijk trying to pick his way through as well, and so far, 64, not the first time we've seen it as well, because he's in his own battle. But remember, was it in France or somewhere else where he kind of didn't really respect the blues? Goes up the inside of the rider he's fighting with as well. So Simonsen, Learning and Ciabatti, all three riders together, but that is definitely interfering with Rowan van der Moosdijk. See the distance that Kuhnen has put between himself and the 39 as well. Frustrating for Rowan van der Moosdijk. Look, still getting involved. Ciabatti, but cruising through the final few corners. Number 74. He's got about, what, 3 corners to go? 4 corners to go. And the number 74, Nastan Husqvarna rider, punches the air as he goes past pit lane for the final time. Finally, dreams coming true for the newly crowned Dutch MX2 champion. Kyle Wolf out of the final turn. He runs his way down to the finish line. He takes the finish line, takes a checkered flag. What a big win for De Wolf, who wins the Latvian Grand Prix. Lucas Kuhnen crossed the line, 6 seconds behind in second place. Rowan van der Moosdijk third for a perfect race finish for Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing. All three riders, De Wolf, Kuhnen and van der Moosdijk, occupying the top 3 positions. We wait for Adamo to come through. There he is in 4th on the Red Bull KTM. Kevin Horgmo just behind him for FNH Kawasaki in 5th. Thibault Benistant will be about 13 seconds further back in 6th place for Monster Energy Yamaha. Then we'll have Harp on the WZ Racing KTM, Everts Red Bull KTM, Oliver and Gifting on VHR Gas. Should be McClellan, Guerra, Sasha Kuhnen, Chambers, Simonson. Still waiting. In fact, they got laps, so yeah. Chambers 14, Simonson 15, Chibati 16, Learning 17, Panzer, Makonis and Corti. But Lisa Leyland is with our first time ever Grand Prix winner, Kai de Wolf.
Kai de Wolf, all good things come to those who wait, including GP victories. Your first ever MX2 overall.
This took so much hard work, pain, hard work, and I kept fighting always, and finally this dream is coming true, and I want to thank everyone who's believing in me. My family being there every single day for me, working so hard for me, and also the whole team. I'm super proud of everyone, and yeah, let's enjoy this one.
Well deserved. Thanks, Kai. Good job there.
Kai de Wolf, Husqvarna Factory Racing, picked up his second win of the season in race 1, but comes away with back-to-back wins. His perfect Grand Prix this weekend in Latvia. 1-1 double moto score for his first ever Grand Prix victory. Number 74, Kai de Wolf, on the top step here in Latvia. Official confirmation then, MX2 race 2. Kai de Wolf picks up the 25 points for the second time today. And you can see he will be wearing red when we go to Germany in a week's time. Lucas Kuhnen, Roman Mostijk rounding out the top 3 positions. And Adamo, Hogmo, Benistant, Harp and Everts. And Auriol Oliver coming home 9th, ahead of Isaac Gifting. Camden McClellan coming home 11th, ahead of Mike Guerra, Sasha Kuhnen, Jack Chambers, Devon Simonson, Lorenzo Chibati, Arvid Learning, Jan Panzer, the 188 of Erlandas Makonis of Lithuania, and the 56 of Lorenzo Corti. Kai de Wolf, though, the top step of the podium for him. 2 wins out of 2, 50 points. He is the new championship leader as well. We will see that graphic in a moment. But difficult conditions in race 2. De Wolf mastered them better than everybody else. Van der Mostijk, second overall for a Nastan Husqvarna 1-2. Thibault Benistant, third for Monster Energy Yamaha. Lucas Kuhnen, up and down race for him. World Championship standings then after Latvia round 8 look like this. Kai de Wolf on 3-6-7 jumps 2 positions to take over the red plate from Adamo and Benistant, who all leapfrog Jago Geerts, who's pushed down to 4th place. Van der Mostijk leaves here 5th overall. But 12 points between 1st and 2nd now as we head to Germany in 1 week's time. Yamaha, no change for them at the top of the manufacturer's classification. Husqvarna, KTM, Gas, Kawasaki, Honda and Fantic, as you were. A very wet pit lane is about to be filled by the MXGP riders and teams, mechanics. But the shelter that it gives everybody down there, absolutely perfect and worth its weight in gold. Let's take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Lucas Kuhnen blasted around the outside for his 3rd foxhole shot of the campaign. Janis Strelnic, the Fox dealer, on hand to deliver him his 3rd black plate of the season. He would have loved to have turned it into a race win, though, I'm sure. Getting ready for the podium here then in Latvia. Round 8 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, MX2. And what a day, what a podium it is. Bittersweet for some, absolutely ecstatic for others. Thibault Benistant, Monster Energy Yamaha factory MX2 team. Second in race one. He was hoping to be on the top step of the podium here this weekend with a good solid ride in race two. Well, he had a good solid ride. Unfortunately, he had to do it off the floor at turn one. Rowan van der Moosdijk, Nastan, Husqvarna Factory Racing, second overall for the tall Dutchman. His second podium of the season as well, with 2 third-place finishes. But what a day for Kai de Wolf. Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing on the top step, 2 wins out of 2, his first career Grand Prix victory in MX2, and no wonder Rasmus Jorgensen is absolutely beaming. Thibault Benistant third overall, then Monster Energy Yamaha takes his third place trophy from Christos Sergis, the MXGP of Latvia organiser. Thank you once again for having us here in this beautiful, normally beautiful part of the world. Second overall, Rowan van der Moosdijk, Martins Lasdowskis, the LASM president, on hand to deliver Van der Moosdijk his second piece of woodware, if you like, for the season. And the first ever Grand Prix victory trophy going to Kai de Wolf. 2 wins out of 2 for the Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing. He also will pick up the championship leader's red plate in a few moments as well, but not before Rasmus Jorgensen takes another one for the team over there, stage left. Good job, guys, and even better, all 3 riders finishing first, second, third in race 2. Well, for the 3rd time this year, we have a different red plate holder. Jargo Geerts held it for 7 rounds. Adamo held it for a weekend. Kai de Wolf is the new owner, the new recipient of the championship leader's red plate. Next stop, Germany, in 1 week's time. Your MX2 podium here, round 8 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Latvia here at Kegums. Kai de Wolf goes 1-1 for his first ever Grand Prix victory. Second overall, his teammate at the Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing, Rowan van der Moosdijk, with 2 third-place finishes. And, of course, Thibault Benistant, who goes 3rd overall. We'll talk to the top 3 in a moment. Here's the highlights of the race. MX2, race 2 here in Latvia was a wet one, an eventful one as well, as Thibault Benistant went down, got a nudge from Kai de Wolf. That sent Liam Evans down in there as well. But it was Lucas Koenen who grabbed the foxhole shot for the 3rd time this year. Kai de Wolf emerged 2nd, and the 3rd member of that team in 3rd, Rowan van der Moosdijk. 4th was Andrea Adamo, but was not able to see which way the 3 Husqvarnas went ahead of him. Mike Werder and Kevin Horgmo having their battle. Eventually Horgmo went through for 5th position on the inside. Harup then went around the outside of Werder to move into 6th place as he charged through the field. Thibault Benistant, though, was a man on the mission as he found his way past Oriol Oliver late on in the race to get into 7th. Then, whilst in 2nd position, Kai de Wolf just tipped over the edge of the berm. Van der Moosdijk went through into 2nd position, and then he fell from 2nd, handing the 22-point place back to his teammate, who went around the outside just there, and then it would get better for the number 74. Sasha Koenen came in for goggles. That's the entry to pit lane, but nobody was there waiting for him, unfortunately. Eventually he came home in 13th place. Then the race leader, Lucas Koenen, fell. He had about 12 seconds over Kai de Wolf. Guess what? 74 goes right on by, and he eventually turned it into a second race win, his first double race win, and his first overall Grand Prix victory. Here he is with Lisa.
Kai de Wolf, massive congratulations to you. 1-1 to get your first overall MX2 victory. You really have waited a long time for this, but more importantly, you have that red plate as well.
Yeah, it's amazing having the red plate, finally getting my first GP win after 3 seasons in MX2. It was a long way, but we kept fighting, and yeah, with the whole team, it's been 5 years with this amazing team, and can't thank them enough for this. And yeah, we're going to celebrate this one tonight, so thanks to everyone.
Thank you. Second overall today, we have Rowan van der Moosdijk. Rowan, 2 solid races for you. A little mistake in that second race, maybe kicking yourself, but you got your second podium, making it a Husqvarna 1-2.
Yeah, a little tip over, like you said, but it's amazing 1-2 for the team. Unfortunately, of course, I want to win the moto, but the second moto was hectic with the rain. But yeah, we made it, and I'm looking forward to the next one and keep it up like this.
Thank you. Third overall today, we have Thibault Benistant. Thibault, I guess mixed emotions for you. Just a really difficult weekend. 2 different races, second in that first race. Really had to dig deep in that second race. Damage limitation, but you got the podium.
Yeah, I got a podium. That's a bit the positive point, we will say. My first moto was good. I started in front, I was leading. I struggled a bit to find my rhythm and the flow, and then Kay passed me, and I directly feel better, and I was more free, and I had my best lap on the end, and yeah, I was just confident for second moto. I think I take quite a good start, and yeah, they just pushed too hard from the inside. I think was too much, was not the space, but they go, and yeah, I crashed. It's like this. The season is long, and I will have the time to start better.
Thank you.
Congratulations to everybody there from MX2. We're up immediately for MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.